Guys, sorry I had to restart that live stream. For some reason we completely broke down there. We're 10 minutes into the game, 1-0 Leeds, a decent little start to the game. Jack Harrison getting the first goal about 3 or 4 minutes into the game. Sorry guys, I had to completely restart there. Completely frozen me for some reason. I apologise for that, guys. But yeah, if you're just joining us now, did try and start the stream, had to restart again. But anyway guys, hopefully should be all good. So, but yeah, just a general chat as well, guys. It's just a friendly at the end of the day, but a general chat on all things Leeds at the minute. What the situation is. Obviously, Pontus Jansson's left the club. We've done videos on that. We've covered that. It's a big decision by the football club, isn't it? It's a big decision by the football club. When you make decisions like that, you've got to live and die by them. If that goes wrong, the club's got to accept criticism. Marcelo Bielsa's got to accept criticism. He's made a big decision there. But yeah. Obviously going to be commenting on the game as we go along. It was a decent little start by us. Started a little bit sloppy, playing the ball out the back. Got caught a couple of times high up the pitch, but we started to settle down into it now. There's not really massive amount of pace in the game. It is a pre-season friendly at the end of the day. Alan Forshaw's just lost the ball pretty cheaply there though. But yeah, it's trying to just suss out in the first sort of 10-15 minutes what our actual shape is here. Alfred McCalmont is making his debut for the club. Massively impressive for the under-23s last year. Got a little bit of recycling there between Douglas and Cooper. Could have panicked, could have hooved that into the stand, but always looking to just play football, and that's what I like about this team. It's always looking to play football. Sometimes we're going to get caught out of position, but we're going to win more points than we're going to lose to playing that style of football. Lovely little counter-attack this. Patrick Bamford's got the ball on the wide left here. He's giving the ball away cheaply there. That wasn't great, that, to be fair. Ball into the air. Liam Cooper's dealt with that pretty well. But yeah, McCalmont seems to be playing really deep here. Certainly does seem to be the screen midfielder. With Alan Forshaw pushed slightly ahead of him. It looks like Cameron Roof is just behind Patrick Bamford there. So I guess it's sort of a 4-1-4-1 if you like to an extent. It does look a little bit like a back three though when we're in possession. Barry Douglas is getting quite high up the pitch here, as he always does, to be fair. But yeah, guys, keep the comments coming in while we go through the game. But yeah, 10 minutes in. But guys, yeah, we have the news, of course, of Gary Cahill being linked with the football club. I don't really know what to make of that rumour, because it is just a rumour at the minute. But it would be a really interesting one. It really would be an interesting one. I know he's 33, but this guy's been a quality defender over the years, and I think, to be fair, you look at it and you think that could be just the kind of signing we need. I do think we need another centre back. A couple of comments before the first stream went off air was, how do we watch the game? This game is 100% free, guys, live on LUTV. So if you just go onto the LUTV website, no matter where you are in the country or the world, you can watch this game for free. Again, obviously all LUTV live games aren't normally available, but on this one, the next 2 games, tonight and tomorrow night, it's going to be available live. So, but yeah, I think something I did say before we went off air was how much praise you've got to give Jack Harrison for the condition he's got himself into. He's got himself into a great condition. He looks stronger, he looks fitter, and I think he looks more suitable to being a championship winger. I thought he looked a bit lightweight, to be fair. Certainly first half of last season, he was getting barged off the ball too much. We needed to do that upper body work, and he's clearly done that, to be fair. It's unbelievable, really. He looks like an absolute beast, to be honest with you. But yeah, free kick to Leeds here. 12 minutes in. Other than the goal, nothing too dramatic's happened so far. Pablo's got the ball wide right here. Laid it back off to Forshaw. That's a bad ball off Liam Cooper, that. Seeing Barry Douglas come available on that left-hand side, he's just completely overhit it. It's a bit disappointing now. A little bit of that tonight so far, but look, it's a friendly at the end of the day. You can't really pay too much attention to this kind of game. I think certainly first couple of friendlies. I think when it gets to sort of, a week or 2 before the season, when you really start to get fully fit, really start to get an idea of what your first choice 11 is going to be, you can start paying a bit more attention to it. But at the minute, I think it is more of a fitness exercise more than anything. But yeah, I think as pre-season progresses, it will get more tactical, I think. But at the minute, it just looks like a fitness exercise. So Pablo's picked the ball up centrally here. Another poor ball out wide, that one to Harrison. been a bit of that tonight from the switches from right to left of being a little bit too flat, under hits, completely off target. A bit disappointing that so far. But so guys, keep your comments coming in on the current situation. Tom Marshall says Harrison does look a bit good, to be fair, which is what we want to see. You know, I'm backing Harrison to massively improve on last season. I think you see that determination straight away from pre-season. You know, he wants to make an impact this season. It's clear to see. You know, I think people maybe myself did doubt Harrison quite a lot, particularly the first half of last season. But it has to be said, he did improve a lot in the second half of the season. Darren Hodgson says, where is our marquee signing from Wolves? I believe he's going to be playing tomorrow. Helder Costa will be playing tomorrow, and excited to see him. Are we winning yet? Being asked yet. 1 up. Good bit of play up between Dallas and Forshaw. Another poor bit of link-up play of Patrick Bamford. That's something we want to see more of Patrick Bamford. You know, he's never really been known as a top goal scorer. And he hasn't really shown that, you know, that is his game for me. He hasn't shown enough of that. But for me, when we signed him at first, I think the main selling point is his excellent link-up play, and we haven't seen enough of that so far. Who scored? Jack Harrison scored the goal, guys, if you haven't seen it. Lovely little bit of link-up play between Dallas and Hernandez on the right side. Pablo swung across in. It wasn't the best of balls into the box. Complete slice off the York defender, Steve McNulty. And it just fell to Jack Harrison, who just turned and found the finish into the bottom corner. And that was after about 3 minutes, I think. But interesting there. Ball came to the box, and Kiko probably could have caught that, and he just punched that. And to be fair, got away with one a little bit there. He was decisive, but he got away with that a little bit for me. And then we just conceded the foul. I think Pablo on that left-hand side, a free kick about to come in off York. The left box about to swing one in here. That's a pretty poor free kick, to be fair. It's being overhit. And we've managed to get that one away. But yeah, guys, I think an interesting thing as well is this mix of teams up here. You know, last season we saw a lot of Group 1, Group 2, Group 3. The Group 3 players were the players who Marcelo Bielsa didn't see any future for at Leeds. The Group 2 players were potential future starters, and the Group 1 players were starters in the team. And he did split the team up into 3 different groups. This time it doesn't seem to be the case. You know, he seems to have mixed the team up a little bit. You know, we've seen McCalmont start tonight. Patrick Bamford and Kemal Roof both in the same team tonight. It seems to be a bit more of an experimental exercise. Good ball there off, I think it was Adam Forshaw on the right hand side here. But yeah, I think McCalmont's clearly the sitting midfielder here. Something he did play, he did perform that role really well. For the under-23s last season, he performed the KP role, if you like, really well. And look, we need to keep KP, but it would be good if we can unearth another gem to play in that position. You know, because at the end of the day, I think last season one of our weaknesses was we only had KP who could play in that position, and when KP got injured or suspended or moved to centre back, we suffered a little bit because we didn't have KP in his best position, breaking up play, dictating the game, spraying the ball, getting on the ball. You know, we need that someone else to do that now. You know, I don't think Adam Forshaw looks as suitable to that role. I think he's more suitable higher up the pitch. You know, keeping the ball high up the pitch in that lot. But yeah, guys, let us know what you think. Do we need to sign another holding midfielder, or hopefully can we unearth one over pre-season? Apparently Ben White can play holding midfield as well, so it'll be interesting to see if we give him a test in that position too. So Calmont's starting to push up a little bit now. Good ball off Pablo. Bamford 1-on-1. Just wide. Good ball off Pablo. That he's looking probably our best player so far tonight. He's just picked up the ball, made that lovely out to him run. He's picked up the ball sort of in the number 10 role and just played a slide rule pass into Bamford. It's on his right foot, and it's one I think you should probably expect Patrick Bamford to get on target there. It'll be disappointing he's missed that one. Like 20 minutes into the game, guys. But guys, make sure you get your comments in, not just on this game, on the whole situation in general. You know, the whole pre-season. Do we need to sign any other players now? Getting asked how I'm watching the game. Watching the game through LUTV. It's totally legitimate. You can watch the game for free tonight and tomorrow night. The York and Guiseley games. But if you just go onto the LUTV website, you'll find the games on there. But yeah, just watching a replay of this chance. In fact, he's hit the post there, Bamford. But still, it's one you expect your strikers to put away there, really. Cameroon's just chasing one down the channels here. But yeah, I've not seen a lot of Cameroon so far. He's just won a corner there. Good little bit of centre forward play there off Cameroon. Yeah, it's a good bit of play that, to be fair. Showed that lovely little burst of pace just to put a bit of pressure on the centre back and force him into a bit of an error there. Pablo, corner on the left hand side here. But guys, I'm just doing a commentary for the time being, so just want to see a couple of comments come in so we can have a bit of a chat as well while watching the game, because at the end of the day, it is just a friendly. I'm happy to have a general chat as well. But yeah, Pablo's looking on fire tonight so far. He's played a big part in the first goal, probably made our best chance since that as well. Corner coming in, good punch off the keeper. Bit of an overbreak crosser off Roof, but yeah, a little bit sloppy in sort of the crossfield passing. We needed the count as well. You don't need the count to get on this one. It literally is one where you can just literally go on and watch the game. It just says watch here or something like that. But yeah, bit sloppy tonight in terms of getting the ball from one end of the pitch to the other. You know, the crossfield passing, the longer range sort of passing. We've not really got a range yet, to be honest. We give the ball away a bit cheaply in those areas. But yeah, we're dominating the game really, but at the end of the day, it's a friendly, but we're getting on the ball quite a bit. Everyone's getting a couple of touches, which is what you want to see. But at the end of the day, good bit of play out of Berardi, travelling with the ball. Good ball out wide. Roof's done well though, he's held the ball up well. Pick the ball up again. Just trying to suss out where Roof is playing. He does seem to be playing behind Bamford as sort of a number 10. Ball out to Barry Douglas. It's not a good ball in out of Barry. Yeah, good bit of pressing that. Good bit of pressing that off Jack Harrison. Ball came back out to the York City fullback. Didn't give him any time at all. He's hoofed the ball at the pitch and we've won the ball back. It's a good bit of counter pressing that off Jack Harrison. And that's something I want to see more of Jack Harrison next season. That kind of work rate. Winning the ball high at the pitch. Allowing us to control games, control possession, and force the teams into mistakes. And a good bit of example of that early on there. And to be fair, I think we've done that well in general. I think Alan Forshaw's done that really well. McCalmont's done that well. But yeah, just trying to. McCalmont does seem to be playing a lot deeper than a holding midfielder. He does seem to be something of a back three when we're in possession of the ball. Another good ball off Pablo out wide. Jack Harrison taking on his man. Great ball, Jack Harrison. Brilliant bit of play. 2-0 Kemal Roof. That's another trademark Kemal Roof goal. He's read where the ball's going to go, and he's just made the run to the box. It's a good little first time finish. And he's not forced about it much, but a great bit of movement off Kemal Roof. And a really good bit of play of Jack Harrison. You know, he took on his man, he's put the ball in first time. Great ball into the box, low cross, and all it needs was a touch. Great run off Kemal Roof as well. 2-0 leads and a promising start to the game. That all came from Pablo winning the ball high up the pitch. Again, we're saying about this counter pressing. Pablo wins the ball high up the pitch, feeds Jack Harrison on that left hand side, and it's a great run off Kemal Roof. That's like one of the goals from last season. And you know, that's what this team's capable of. But yeah, good to see Jack Harrison. It's a goal and an assist to start the night. 22 minutes into the game. We've won the ball high up the pitch again. Adam Forshaw, is he going to get a shot off? Oof, good effort off Adam Forshaw that. Won the ball, good little run, and just wide there. But it's a good start for us this. It's a good start, but again, you know, I know it's only York, I know it's only a friendly, but yeah, there's a couple of players looking really lively. Pablo, Adam Forshaw, Jack Harrison, you know, and it's good to see, especially Forshaw and Harrison, who had tough seasons last year. They had average seasons last year by their standards, and we're hoping, I think every Leeds fan's hoping we're going to see more of them this season. I just got asked, where's the cereal box? That is good memory, that, mate, to be fair. That was, you know, you're going back quite a while there. I think you're going back probably about Jan, Feb, but I know exactly what you're referring to there. When I came on doing a live stream with a cereal box behind me, in case anyone else is watching and doesn't get that reference, I can't remember what cereal it was, but yeah, it's a decent little shout, that. Ollie Davis, to be fair, diehard fan. Flipping heck, a bit of dodgy play there from the back. Stuart Dallas has just decided to volley the ball onto Kiko Casilla, who's took the touch on his chest. And to be fair, I don't like seeing Kiko do that, especially towards the end of the season. What a sloppy bit of play there off Liam Cooper, and he just sprayed the ball out of play. And to be fair, he's getting a bit of a bollocking off one of Bielsa's assistants there. Look like Corcoran has come over and given Cooper a bit of a bollocking there. But the fitness looks good. Plenty of movement off the ball. And Jack Harrison's looking very lively on this left-hand side. Every single time the ball gets to him, it looks like something's going to happen. Good bit of link-up play with Barry Douglas there. Barry Douglas has lost the ball quite cheaply there on that left-hand side. But this is what we want to see off Jack Harrison. Positivity. Running at his full-back. Getting goals. Getting his goal scoring positions. Good balls into the box. And we've seen all that so far. And it's good to see. Cam Roof is on the ball here. He's also started the game well in that 10 role. He's made a lovely run into the box. And it's good to see. Free kick to Leeds. That left-hand side is looking good, to be fair. We didn't see much of it last season. Barry Douglas and Jack Harrison. It tended to be, Alioski somewhere on that left-hand side. We didn't sort of see Alioski dropped and those two playing together, but it looks promising that side so far. Barry Douglas is getting high up the pitch, not being sort of very productive in terms of balls into the box and that lot, but he is getting high up the pitch. Jack Harrison's feeding him well, and vice versa. It's working quite well on that left-hand side. Free kick. Looks like Pablo's on this. If angle does favour Pablo, to be fair, but guys, let us know what your thoughts are. To be honest, I'm liking what I've seen off certain couple of players. I want to see a little bit more of Patrick Bamford, to be honest, because it's his place it's his position to lose now. That centre forward's position. Pablo on the free kick, just wide. Good effort that. But yeah, 2-0 guys. 25 minutes of the game. If you are just joining us now. But guys, what are your thoughts on the general season all in all? What we're thinking this season. We're thinking, are we going to improve on last season? Have we done enough in the transfer market so far? We're looking at the main signs of Ben White, Helder Costa, obviously Jack Harrison, Jack Clark technically being a new signing. Have we done enough so far in this market, or do we still need more players? We still need that extra centre back. Obviously, we can't really judge too much from the next couple of games. We're not coming up against a top quality striker. But do we need to invest in that defensive areas? And Jack Harrison's done well there. Again, Jack Harrison winning the ball high at the pitch. He's looking so lively tonight, Jack Harrison. Good touch as well. But yeah, I think Forshaw, Harrison have been the standouts for me so far. Both looking very, very lively. Getting asked who scored. Jack Harrison got the first goal after 3 minutes. Overhit cross of Pablo Hernandez. Pretty poor clearance, but it fell to Jack Harrison, and he did really well. Lovely turn and finish. And then Cameron Roof with the second goal. Great crossing into the box off Jack Harrison. Took on his man. Lovely low cross. Undefendable, really. And it's a good finish. But Tomahawk says, we need a centre-back, a quality one. A good defensive midfielder if Phillips leaves. Probably need another striker for me as well. And to be honest, that is what I'm thinking as well. I do think we do need to invest in those areas, especially the centre-back and holding midfield positions. Look at the holding midfielder situation. We're hoping to unearth another Jeremy with Alfred McCalmont, potentially with Callum Nysel as well. But do we need another senior holding midfielder in this team? I think there has been mentioned, there's nothing too solid with Christian Bielik, who was at Charlton last season and was excellent at Charlton last season. He's an Arsenal player, is looking to leave Arsenal. Could he potentially be an option? He can play centre-back, he can play holding midfield. He could be an option as well. Good ball of Pablo Hernandez into Kemal Roof. Lovely little touch of Kemal Roof. Again, just broken down a little bit there. But yeah, that's something I definitely agree with. I think in terms of strikers, we probably... It's a tough one to say because I think both Roof and Bamford are injury prone. We do need to think about that. I think certainly with Kemal Roof, I think Kemal Roof is the main striker for me. He's showing that with that lovely late run into the box there. It's showing that striker's instinct, which I'm not sure Patrick Bamford has got, to be honest. If I'm being totally honest, I don't think Patrick Bamford's got that to his game. So I would like to see another striker go in, potentially, definitely. who's more of a Cameron Roof kind of player. Because if Cameron Roof gets injured, we haven't really got like high pressing, that high sort of intensity kind of striker who can play the Cameron Roof role. I've not seen that work rate off Patrick Bamford, to be honest, and we need to see it this season. I think it's a hard one, because then you're saying you've got 3 kind of strikers who could all potentially start. How do you keep them all happy? You've got to think about things like that. I know the temptation is to say, let's just get more and more players, but that's not how Marcelo Bielsa likes to manage his squads. He tends to go for like a 2+1 kind of squad arrangement, i.e. 2 natural players in 1-to-1 position, and then 1 player who can play in that position as well, but it might not be their favourite position. So, for example, in the striker's role, it looks like it's going to be Kemar Roof and Patrick Bamford who are going to be the main strikers this season. That's just my personal opinion. I don't think we will sign another striker unless we get an injury. And then you've got someone like Helder Costa who played up front for Wolves, not tons of times, but did play a sort of a false 9 for Wolves when they went up that season. Second half of the season, he did get a lot of games in that position. So he is probably the +1, if you like, who can play in that position as well. A strong tackle there off one of the York players. I don't know any of the York players, to be honest, guys. Just took a book in there. Stewie Dallas isn't happy about that anyway, but see any more of your comments, guys. Ollie Davis has commented, Harrison looking good, 1 goal, 1 assist, and it's good to see. You want to see that kind of efficiency off Jack Harrison, something we didn't see enough of last season. His end product has to improve, but hopefully all the signs are that it has improved so far. So if you can carry on playing like this, we have to be happy. Dilip Kedner saying, hi mate, hi to Dilip, who's been a massive fan of the channel for ages, and fair play, mate. But yeah, guys, there's going to be more and more videos coming out. Obviously, with the season, the season hasn't even started yet. We're still in pre-season. About 3.5 weeks off the start of the season. We're going to have more and more videos coming out. Certainly, all these TV Investigates. I'm working on a few all these TV Investigates at the minute on all the new signings. Why I think they're going to be successful, and why I think we've signed them, etc., etc. There are a couple of all these TV Investigates going out. We've got a couple of interviews planned. And just general stuff, when the season comes up, what we're going to be producing. It's going to be match reviews, match previews, all 3 of our series and that lot. It's going to be hopefully an even better all Leeds TV this season. We're going to take on board your comments. If you do want any other different types of content, let us know, guys. That's what we've always tried to do with this channel. If you want different kinds of videos, let us know. But yeah, I've seen a bit of comments about Calvin Phillips. It's one. I don't know what to believe, to be honest, on Calvin Phillips. At 1 minute he's destined to go to Villa, the next minute he's signed a new contract. So it's one of those, look, if we lose Calvin Phillips, we are in big trouble. It's simple as that. He's probably one of only 2 irreplaceable players in this squad. Look at Pablo Hernandez probably being the only other player, in terms of flair and creativity, but it's a big one. A good header there off Liam Cooper. We look pretty solid at the back, and I'd expect that, to be honest. I would like to see us being solid at the back against someone like York. No disrespect to them, but it would be concerning if it was anything but that. But Berardi's done well on the ball, I have to say that. Berardi has took a lot of criticism, and fair enough. That sending off against Derby was absolutely ridiculous. It's not a great ball, that, off Barry Douglas. We'll see a little bit more efficiency off Barry Douglas on that left-hand side. I thought he had a good season last season. I thought he was unlucky with injuries. I thought they all came at bad times. But we just want to see a little bit more efficiency from that side. Kind of better quality of ball into the box. A bit more consistency on that side. That's probably a better word for it. Good touch off Berardi there. But yeah, we're moving the ball around quite nicely. And fitness levels looking good as well. Good movement off the ball. And we're dominating the game, to be honest. Not at the absolute 100% on the ball. I still think we can create more, be a little bit more expressive, but it's not too bad so far, to be fair. Tomahawk, personally think we are missing a physical striker. Could do with one who isn't slow and a good finisher. Roof situation a bit iffy. If he goes, we only have Bamford. And that's very true. If we did lose Cameron Roof, which is still a possibility, it is still a possibility, let's not make any mistake about that, then we would be in a bit of trouble. Because we wouldn't have any striker in the squad who suits the system. Cameron Roof absolutely suits the system spot on for me. And for me, Cameron Roof, unless a top quality striker comes available, has to start the season for me as the main striker. But yeah, I think maybe we could do a more physical striker. When you play against teams who are struggling at the bottom end of the table, You're playing against big, hard centre halves. You want someone who's going to win the headers, who's going to use his body, his strength. And I don't think we have that kind of physical striker at the minute. The Becchio, the Chris Wood type of striker, maybe we do lack that at times. I think towards the end of the season, I think a lot of teams played off that. They could win that first contact because they could sort of barge the other player out of position. A good ball off Jack Harrison there, and Pablo's lining up 3-0 Leeds. Good play off Jack Harrison again, cutting onto his right foot, laid the ball off to Patrick Bamford, and a good bit of link-up play off Patrick Bamford. That's what I want to see more of Patrick Bamford. More of that link-up play. And it's a good finish off Pablo. You expect nothing less of Pablo in those positions. But yeah, it's a 3-0 Leeds. 34 minutes into the game. It's nice and promising, guys. Look, at the end of the day, it is a pre-season friendly. There's all teams going to be at different levels of fitness at the minute, so we can't get too carried away with this. But we're playing some lovely stuff tonight. Good bit of initial play of Patrick Bamford as well to spread the ball out wide. Barry Douglas did well as well too. Got forward again. Jack Harrison's looking. He's looking. This is probably the best thing I've seen Jack Harrison play for us. He's looking very lively, and more of this, please. More of this off Jack Harrison is what we've got to hope for. But yeah, in terms of the big physical striker, it would be nice if we can get someone who's a bit more physical, offers that different kind of threat. Because I don't think we have that player in the squad who you can sort of swing balls into the box at, who you can play off. So I know that's not really a Bielsa kind of style, but you can still have a target man. He still made Fernando Llorente one of the best target men in Europe during his time at Bilbao. He can work with a target man, so it might be nice to see that sort of different kind of striker. So I would definitely agree with that off Tomahawk. Carl Watson, have you renewed your season ticket, mate? I can confirm I will be at every single game next season, every single home game. I've renewed my season ticket a couple of weeks ago. Delighted to confirm that. And yeah, just buzzing for the season to start now. We haven't got any home pre-season friendlies as far as I'm aware, which is a bit of a blow. Still weighing up whether to go to Italy for the last pre-season friendly. I'm not sure if finances are going to allow me to go to that, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that one nonetheless. Ollie Davis, Tommy, who's just signed for Hull, was being perfect. Reminds me of Andy Carroll. Yeah, I mean, he's a player I've seen a little bit of at Gillingham. I think he was started off at Bolton. He is a physical striker, but the step up from League One to the Championship is huge. It will be interesting to see how he does at this level. I don't think he's guaranteed success. Obviously, we saw Jack Marriot I know he scored against just Jack Marriott, but there's no sour grapes here. Jack Marriott was inconsistent last year, and he stepped up from League One to the Championship and didn't find it that easy. But other strikers find it easier. I think Billy Sharp in recent years obviously went up back into the Championship with Sheffield United and did really well. So yeah, it's a tough one to tell that, but yeah, he looks a decent player. I'm not sure if he's probably at the right level for us right now. I don't think he's quite ready for to be starting for a Championship promotion. Hopefully a Championship team that has aspirations to automatic promotion. I think we certainly should have aspirations of automatic promotion. A good bit of composed play there off Alfie McCalmont. But yeah, Alfie McCalmont's done well so far. He's looked nice and solid. He's protected the two Berardi and Cooper well so far. And he's got on the ball a little bit as well, which is good to see. Ronald Osborne has just asked, do Leeds have a similar type of player to KP in the under-23s? And I think the two most clear ones for me in the under-23s so far is Alfie McCalmont and Callum Nysel. Both sort of swapped and changed and played those positions last season. I think McCalmont's probably the most obvious. He's done really well for the under-23s. He's started well tonight. He's probably the most obvious, and it would be really nice if we can find another holding midfielder, someone else who can play in that Calvin Phillips role. Even if we keep Calvin Phillips, we do need that backup. It's something we didn't have last season. When Calvin Phillips wasn't playing that holding midfield role, we were in trouble 9 times out of 10. We weren't able to win the ball back. We weren't able to protect our back four, which needs protection. When you're playing so attack-minded as we are, we've effectively got a front 5 in front of Calvin Phillips. You need someone as disciplined, as good off the ball, as tenacious as a Calvin Phillips. And a good bit of play there on the right. And the ball's come to Patrick Bamford. Good ball off Stuart Dallas. Ball into the box off Jack Harrison. No, he probably could have crossed that first time. ball off Jack Harrison off that right side. It's a decent little clearance. But yeah, I think you've got to say, a couple of players have impressed tonight so far, which is good to see. But yeah, I do look at it and think we could do with potentially, promoting one of our under-23s players to play in that position. I look at Adam Forshaw, and I think Adam Forshaw suits playing higher up the pitch. I've always said that. I think he's a little bit too lightweight to play that position. I don't think he tracks his midfield runs well enough to play that position either. So yeah, that'd be an interesting one if we are going to do that. Good bit of player, Pablo Hernandez. Lovely bit of play there. Took on 2 or 3 players, and he went for a cheeky chip as well. But the keeper was aware on that situation. But yeah, Michael S. Read the Phillips rumours. At the end of this Heckingbottom season, we would have got 5 million for him. Easily quadrupled in value after one good season. 20 million for him is excellent business. Hope he doesn't go though. I have to disagree with that one, to be honest, mate. I think when you're looking at the price of transfers are happening for these days, I've certainly looked at Tyrone Mings. I think Tyrone Mings is the top player, by the way. They've gone to Villa for 26.5 million. I think if they're getting that kind of value for Tyrone Mings, who's at 26 now, compared to Callum Phillips, who's a couple of years younger, I think we've got to be asking for more than that. But the situation is, if Callum Phillips doesn't want to go, as far as I'm concerned, we have to keep Callum Phillips. He's the most important player in the system, and I don't think he's going to be someone who we can replace for anything less than sort of 25, 30 million. But yeah, I think it's a difficult one to answer. It depends where the club sees itself going. At the end of the day, if you got massive money and you don't see yourself going up, maybe you do accept the bid. But good bit of play there, good bit of play. Cameron Roof's had a cheeky effort on the halfway line, just over the bar. Good little bit of vision off of Cameron Roof, but great bit of play between Cameron Roof and I think it was Adam Forshaw. Lovely back heel, back into Cameron Roof's path. Had a little bit of a mini run at the back 4, but again, he's looked nice and lively in that number 10 role. Armand Barks is back. Don't know if you covered it, mate, but what are your thoughts on the Cahill link? Now, for me, Cahill will be an absolutely superb signing. If we can get Gary Cahill in, it'd be a brilliant signing. It's probably the type of signing we need. That bit of experience in the team. He's a fantastic player as well for this level. Okay, maybe he's gone past his peak now, but I still think he's a great player at this level. And maybe he's not the quickest now, but I still look at him and think he's a great defender. I think if you look 2 years ago, he was winning Premier League titles. He's playing a massive part in Chelsea winning the title. I think he captained them a couple of times. It'd be an interesting one if we can get Gary Cahill in. Of course, there's concerns. Can he adapt to Bielsa ball in that lot? You'd have to hope so. I think he could, personally. I think he's a good player. I think he's a good enough player to do that. He's worked under similar types of manager who demand the ball being played at the back. Maurizio Sarri last season, for example, okay, he didn't play that many games, but he's still been trained into that style of football. But he's at 33. I wouldn't say he's past it at that age. I think he's still got a couple of years in him, especially at a lower level where he can more use his brain more than he has to, than his legs to an extent. He doesn't have to have that pace. As much, I don't think at this level, as long as he can read the game okay, I think he can recover his positions, if he does get caught out of position. And you only have to look at sort of like John Terry 2 years ago for Villa. He made a good impact at Villa last season? I think it was 17-18, John Terry went to Villa and he played a big part in their improved defence. And in the end, okay, he didn't play last season, but he made a big impression there. Those types of signings do go well. Okay, it could go the other way. He could get injured in his first game. And we might never see Gary Cahill. But for me, it'd be one I'd be interested in personally. I would be really interested in it. I think another good thing about Gary Cahill is as well, he can teach someone like Ben White. We can play alongside. Ben White. Obviously Ben White's probably going to have that bit more fitness. Going to be a bit quicker. But you can learn so much from someone like a Gary Cahill for me, and it could work really well. Okay, you can bring in Liam Cooper as well to the equation. I think it makes a lot of sense, that signing. Can we make it happen? I don't know. I think wages is one of the main ones to look at. Not even so much the fee, because I know it's a free transfer, but the wages I look at and think we're going to struggle to make that one happen. But let's wait and see. It depends how much Gary Cahill wants to play football. Maybe he'll take a wage drop. I'd like to think that, but Barry Douglas a couple of times in that final third has lost the ball a bit too cheaply for me. I want to see that bit more quality into the box off Barry Douglas there for me. But he's got forward as well. Just want to see that a little bit more. off him. Great bit of play off Stuart Dallas there. Lovely little dummy. And Kemar Roof has been all over the pitch tonight. In a good sense, by the way. It's just picked the ball up on that right hand side. But yeah, it looks like Pablo and Roof are exchanging positions pretty well. Jack Harrison's lining one up from distance, and it's 4-0. Great finish off Jack Harrison. About 20 yards out. Lovely finish that. He looked confident. From the minute he lined that up, it looked like it was going in. Just found himself that space. Lovely finish that. Bottom corner. And it's 4-0 Leeds after 44 minutes. And fair play to Jack Harrison. It's 2 goals and an assist tonight. And it's without doubt the best I've seen him play for us. Okay, it's I know it's a pre-season friendly, but this looks a much improved Jack Harrison, a much more confident Jack Harrison. He looks a lot more assured about himself, to be honest with you. You know, I love the way he's picking the ball up and he's trying to make something happen. He's been superb so far. And absolutely fair play to him. He's got himself into good shape. He looks nice and fit. He's definitely been working on the upper body. You only have to look to know that. But yeah, fair play to him. He's not getting barged off the ball easily, and he started the game well. But yeah, fair play to him. So just before approaching half time, see if we've got any more comments here. Rolo, if we keep Phillips, what other additions do you think will be needed? Also, do you not believe that Bielsa will not make the mistake of not using the January transfer window if needed? Now, I think obviously Bielsa did want to use the January window last year. Yeah, I think it's clear to see he wanted to use the January window, you know, with Dan James. I almost forgot his name then. Dan James, yeah, the Dan James saga. I think he did want that other winger. It's a shame we didn't get Dan James. Maybe it could have been different last season had we had him in the squad. You know, but another game changer in the team. So yeah, I do think he wants to use that January transfer window. Of course, we brought in Kiko Casilla as well. Whether you thought it was a good signing or a bad signing, we did bring in another goalkeeper. So I think it would be a little bit harsh to say Bielsa made the mistake of the January window. I think the situation led to the Dan James saga that we didn't get Dan James. You know, obviously he went to Man United, etc., etc. He's going to play against us in Australia. But I think Luke Ayling will have him in his pocket anyway. But yeah, I think Bielsa did want to use that January transfer window last year. But in terms of the first half of the question, which I'll be honest, I've forgotten now, what other additions do you think will be needed? You know, I look at it and I think definitely a centre-back, definitely a centre-back. You know, I don't think we can just be relying on the Cooper and White Berardi. I think we do need that fourth centre-back, especially if we go to 3 at the back. We need those options there for me. I think we do probably need another holding midfielder. If we can't unearth one out of the under-23s, I think we do need that other player who can play in that position, even if KP stays. You know, because at the end of the day, when Calvin wasn't in the team or was in the centre-back position, and we didn't have him in that holding midfield position, the team suffered. Absolutely no doubt about that. The team suffered in every single sense of the imagination. Results, performances, and defensively just never quite looked the same for me. But yeah, that's what I'd look at. Potentially another striker as well. You know, maybe we do need that other striker because you know the 2 strikers we have at the minute are both injury prone. There's massive question marks on Patrick Bamford for me. I know we're 4 up in the game, but I want to see a bit more of Patrick Bamford. I want to see Patrick Bamford get himself on that goal sheet tonight. You know, making those dangerous runs into the box, get himself into goal scoring positions because he hasn't really tonight so far. He's had that one chance which he should get on target. I want to see more of that off Jack Harrison, to be honest. But yeah, half time, guys, so we can focus purely on the chat now rather than the game. So let's see where we got up to. See where we're up to. Sorry, I've lost track of the chat here, guys. Barker's buzzing for Harrison. Worked his arse off before pre-season. Looks an absolute monster. I have to agree. He looks an absolute monster tonight. You know, in every sense. You know, he's been absolutely brilliant so far. And we'll see more of this off Jack Harrison. We'll see this throughout the season now of Jack Harrison putting these types of performances in against the better quality fullbacks, showing that bravery on the ball. Ollie Davis, Oscar's got a crush on Harrison. Pass it on. I'm jealous, to be honest, mate. If Harrison could do that in 6 weeks, and I won't go on that same kind of regime, to be honest. But yeah, no, I'm absolutely delighted for Jack Harrison, to be honest. I'm absolutely delighted for him because I gave Jack Harrison, probably more than anyone on the channel, a lot of criticism last season. I think certainly the first half of the season, and maybe trying to redress the balance a little bit. But to be fair, he's worked so hard, hasn't he? He's worked so hard. Second half of the season, you saw that desire to impress. You know, and I did sort of cast him off as one of those other loan signings like Izzy Brown, Lewis Baker, who you have to question were their hearts really in it. But with Jack Harrison, you genuinely see that desire to impress, and you have to say it's excellent to see. It's excellent to see that desire off Jack Harrison, you know, to get back into the squad, and possibly make it a permanent move. And if you can carry on this level of improvement throughout the season, then excellent stuff. Michael S says centre-back, defensive midfielder, striker, and that's pretty much what I'd say. I think wingers-wise, we're okay now. We've got probably 4 players who can play out wide, plus another couple, if needed, like Tyler Roberts. Tyler Roberts, Cameron Roof, if necessary, Stuart Dallas, Alioski. But I think you look at, we've got 4 main wingers now. Pablo on the right-hand side, Helder Costa, who can also play on that right-hand side, Jack Clark and Jack Harrison as well. I think we've got 4 decent wingers there, especially if Jack Harrison can maintain this kind of form. But Scott Lightning, tomorrow's team, BPF, Shackleton, Ayling, White, Alioski, Phillips, Click, Roberts, Clark, Costa, Bogus. Now I've heard only a rumour that Tyler Roberts isn't fully fit yet. So I'm not sure if Tyler Roberts is there or not. I'd love to see Tyler Roberts there. You know, I thought we massively missed Tyler Roberts towards the end of last season. I thought it was clear to see. You know, we massively missed Tyler Roberts, I felt. But yeah, just going to look at that team again. So BPF, Shackleton at right back, Ayling centre back, White centre back, Alioski left back, Phillips holding. Looks like Click and Roberts in the midfield positions, Clark, Costa out wide, and Bogus sort of playing as a false 9 to an extent, or possibly swapping around with Tyler Roberts there. But yeah, that'll be an interesting team. I think that probably is going to be the team, given who hasn't played tonight. I don't think any players who've been involved tonight are going to play tomorrow, unless we get some massive injuries. But I can't see that, to be honest. Barker's surgery's getting worse and worse. Clean that bloody moss off. I can't be arsed, mate, to be honest. I can't be arsed. It's such a pain trying to get there. But yeah, Barker's, I think we need another creative midfielder. Can't depend on Hernandez like that again. I think it's a fair point. Yeah, I think it's a fair point. You know, can we rely on Pablo Hernandez to produce week in, week out like he did last season? Okay, he had a bad last couple of weeks of the season, but he was absolutely superb last season, wasn't he? He was our player of the season last season, and we can't deny that. So it would be nice to see that backup for Pablo potentially come in if we need it. So, see any other comments there? I think I've gone past a couple there. Stuart Cundle, quality first half, excellent link-up play between Douglas, Harrison, Roof, Hernandez, Bamford. Yeah, I think it has been good link-up play. Certainly the short passes would be nice, and we have been nice and crisp in our passing in that lot. That's good to see. But sometimes a little bit, I think in the final third being a little bit wasteful. No, it's difficult to say when we're 4 up in the game. But we've got to demand more. You know, we've been very clinical tonight, to be fair, which makes a nice change. And I would like to see this maintained throughout next season. You know, we've had probably 6 shots on target in the game, and we've scored in 4 of them. But yeah, I think it's a I think it's good. Barker's getting stuck in again. Brutal rejects the call instantly. Oh, he is my mate, Barker's, to be fair. But yeah, I still think we can show a little bit more. We have to remember we're playing in a non-league side here. We can't get too carried away. We've got to always look to improve. That's what last season the situation was. Yeah, we were always looking to improve, and ultimately we couldn't quite make it that next step. And that's what it's all about this season, improving on last season. For me, that has to be the target. Automatic promotion. I think the league is wide open this season. I think overall it's more competitive than last season. I think we are going to see it being a lot tighter, but I think it's a wide open league this year. You know, I think you're looking at some teams that are doing some superb pieces of business. I think Brentford in particular have made some brilliant signings and they've kept a lot of their good players. I'm certainly looking at them and thinking they're certainly a potential dark horse this season. I wouldn't even say they're a dark horse because I think a lot of teams fancy Brentford this year to give it a really good go. Obviously a Pontus signing there as well. Lewis, why have we paid 15 million for Helder Costa? Jack Harrison is on fire. I mean, it's good to see. It's absolutely brilliant. Maybe Helder Costa going in has given Jack Harrison that little extra nudge. You know, he has to show quality week in, week out. But if we get Jack Harrison performing like this week in, week out, Helder Costa on the other side performing week in, week out, then we're going to look really good. You know, I think that's one thing we did lack last season, that consistent winger. And we need that, to be honest, don't we? Bogus is going to be good backup, says Ryan Standall. But yeah, I don't think we mentioned Bogus enough. He was excellent for the 23s when he came in sort of halfway through last season. He played really well. He made things happen, got a couple of goals. And yeah, I think he could maybe be a backup for Pablo. I certainly see him being involved at times this season. I think he probably will be involved tomorrow night. I hope he gets his chance and I hope he impresses. So it could be Matej's Click and Bogus playing together tomorrow in that midfield. Getting asked again what the game's on. The game is on LUTV, guys. Make sure if you want to watch the game live and just use this as a commentary, it's on LUTV, guys, if you want to catch it there. Let's have a look. Barker's saying, can see Cardiff winning the league, to be honest. Warnock has the same bunch of players from 2 years ago. I don't know, to be honest, mate. I don't know. I think it depends who they keep hold of. I still think there could be a couple of players who might not go with them to the Championship. I was trying to think off the top of my head. I think Camarasa is one I look at and think he's probably too good for the Championship. I certainly think one of the newly promoted teams might look at him. I think he's one of their better players. I think Harry Arter might be a difficult one for them to keep hold of too. Neil Everidge, I think, is a good goalkeeper. But if they do keep that team together, then they're definitely a good bet. Fulham as well. I think Fulham have made a big statement. They are looking likely to keep Mitrovic and Kearney, who were two crucial players to them getting promoted last time around. I think they play that's a bit more expansive football than Cardiff. I'm not sure if Cardiff can repeat the trick, to be honest. I'm not totally convinced by them. I think they're going to be in the top 6. I think most of the time, that kind of system works for Neil Warnock teams. It didn't work at fucking Leeds, did it? Let's be honest. Probably one of the only places that didn't work, and it sums it all up. But yeah, that's please no, Neil Warnock get promoted again, guys. Match Day with Max. Make sure you check them out. Max has been on YouTube quite a while as well. Good mates with Match Day with Max and Doran Tour. Met them both at the Football Blogging Awards. Two absolutely brilliant bloggers for Nottingham Forest. But yeah, Forest are an interesting one. Obviously, the new manager comes in. I don't know much about him, to be honest. I know he managed Ivory Coast, I think, at the World Cup a couple of years ago. But yeah, it'd be an interesting one for us. A couple of players come in. It depends on the Joe Lolly situation for me a lot, Max, mate. I think it depends a lot on that. I certainly look at Joe Lolly and I think he's a top player. I think he's Forest's best player last season. Can they keep hold of Joe Lolly? That's an interesting one. Lewis Grabban as well. I think Lewis Grabban was excellent first half of the season. Didn't quite produce the same sort of level second half. I don't think he played as much in the second half of the season, but I look at those two as being very, very important to the team. Because I think it's an attack-minded team. I don't think really you look at it defensively and think, that's the issue. I think the issue is that going forward, playing that kind of brand of football, which I think Forest are trying to build into. I think you need top quality attackers, and they have got top quality attackers. I think they just need maybe a bit more of a contribution from the other players. I think Yao Carvalho, who they signed for 13 million last summer, was really disappointing. But I've not really seen much about Forest's transfer targets so far this season. But yeah, I don't know. I look at it and think, can they get more out of those players they've already got? If I had to put a prediction on it, I certainly see Forest pushing for the top 6. I think it's an open league this year. I do think it's an open league this season. But yeah, we're playing. In fact, Albert Doma has gone to Forest. If you forget about that, Albert Doma on his day is a good player. I think he is a good player on his day. Can he produce that kind of performance week in, week out? I think he can. I think at Villa, I think last season it was when he got about 15 goals. I think he has got that in his game. He's a good, experienced player to bring in the team. Sammy Amiobi's another one. I think both players, Albert Adoma and Sammy Amiobi, it depends what kind of game they're having. I think they're very much, they go from 8 or 9 out of 10 to 2 or 3 out of 10. There's not really much middle ground in them. But I think you get performances out of those kind of players, I think you can do well. Marriot from City, I actually genuinely didn't realise Forest had signed him. He's a good goalkeeper. He's someone I wanted us to look at last January. Good ball playing goalkeeper, back up to Ederson. But I think City are signing another backup goalkeeper, so that'll be an interesting one. But yeah, I think that's 3 potentially good signings there. I think Marriot is probably the one that stands out to me in terms of making a big impact on the first team. I think sometimes Forest last season defensively let themselves down. The Sam Barham signing didn't really work out at right back. I think Sam Barham played once, last season for Forest. I remember playing once last season at Sheffield United away towards the end of the season when we needed Forest to get us a result. and they didn't. And I think Sam Barron had an absolutely shocking game that day. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see how Forest get on. I think you look at it and you think, can they just keep the same manager throughout the season? The Martin O'Neill one was a bizarre decision for me. I didn't think that was ever going to work. I think Martin O'Neill had a really bad ending at Ireland, and I think he still had that hangover effect from that one. I think a lot of the players who they brought in sort of like mid-season. I was trying to think who else they brought in. I think Mola Wagger they brought in middle of the season. I was trying to think the centre back was from Leicester, Ben Luane, I think he brought in as well. They didn't work. He just made poor signings, and I think if they had kept Karanka, given Karanka the full season, I think they would have ended up doing better, or brought in a different alternative to Karanka. I think the appointment of Martin O'Neill was a disaster. But yeah. Barker says, Sam Barron, what a career he's had since leaving. I mean, it's pretty horrendous, isn't it, what's happened to Sam Barron since he's left Leeds? And I just didn't realise that was going to happen. I genuinely was amazed that happened. I thought when he went to West Ham, I thought it was going to be the making of him. He was brilliant for Leeds, let's be honest. Whenever he played in his best position, he was brilliant for Leeds. But it just didn't work out for him. He made the wrong decision going to West Ham. I think his other alternative was Everton, where he probably may have played more minutes. He may not have done. But yeah, he did make the wrong decision. Rogue1631 has just joined us. We're 4 up, by the way, mate. In fact, I'm not sure if the game has restarted. It may well have done. Yeah, about to restart. But 4-0 up. Harrison's got 2, Roof's got 1, and Pablo's got 1 as well. And it's been an excellent first half of the game for us. But once again, just a quick recap on the team. It looks like a 4-1-4-1. Kiko Garcia, Stuart Dallas right back. Gaetano Berardi, Liam Cooper, centre-backs, Barry Douglas on the left, Alfred McCalmont in the holding midfield role, Pablo on the right, Adam Forshaw in the middle, with Cameron Roof slightly pushed further forward, more as a number 10, Jack Harrison on the left, and up front, Patrick Bamford. And it's been brilliant this first half. But we can't get too carried away, guys. We can't get too carried away. We can't just say, let's not make a signing because we're 4 up at York, in a pre-season friendly. We can't get too carried away, guys. But yeah, most of the All Leeds TV team is there tonight. Conor's in the home end because he's a massive rebel. Joe's in the away end with Tasha. And yeah, most of the team is here tonight. But yeah, just kicked off now, second half. But guys, let's keep the chat going if you want, your views. But for me, Forest next season, just to answer Max's question, I'm thinking probably, pushing for the top 6. As long as they get things right in other elements of the recruitment, maybe bring in another centre-back as well, potentially a full-back. I think they've got a good squad there, and they've got to get the most out of Joe Lolly and Lewis Grabban for me. I think they're the 2 standouts going forward, and to get more out of Yao Carvalho as well, who was a great player in his day, I think they'd be pushing forward. Barkers, what are your thoughts on Berardi? Interesting to see what happens with him. I think it's quite telling that Berardi starts this game tonight. I think it really is quite telling that. I thought potentially it's going to be Liam Cooper, Ben White starting tonight. I don't want to read too... good bit of play there. Could be a hat-trick for Jack Harrison. Good save off the keeper. Good bit of play between Douglas and Harrison on that left-hand side. And they're linking up well tonight. Just want to see that little bit more end product of Barry Douglas. A little bit more efficiency out wide off Barry Douglas to an extent. But yeah, Berardi, I think is an interesting start tonight. He could potentially be starting the season for us, and I think I'm not convinced that's a good idea. I love Berra. I like Liam Cooper. I love both Berra and Cooper, but as a partnership, I don't think it works that well. I think you still need that more commanding centre-back alongside either of them. I think I'd probably call them more supporting centre-backs to a big commanding centre-back for me, Berardi and Cooper. They need that big leader alongside them for me, like a Pontus Janssen to an extent, but maybe it's going to be Cooper and Berardi starting the season. I want to see a little bit of Ben White. I like the look of Ben White. He had a good time at Newport, good time at Peterborough. Comes here highly rated. But we've got to remember he's under a lot of pressure. He's replacing a cult hero potentially, Pontus Janssen. The pressure's going to be on Ben White, so we might not see the best of him straight away. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see how he does tomorrow, assuming he plays tomorrow. Stuart Dallas has picked the ball up here. Another good spray there off Pablo onto Jack Harrison. Jack Harrison's first touch has been excellent tonight as well. I have to say that. He's clearly been the star of the show so far for me. But yeah, it's been nice and lively tonight for us. Fitness levels look good, which is probably the main thing you can take from these kind of games. If we're being honest, it's fitness. It's more fitness and tactics and sort of patterns of play. To be honest, at this stage of the season for me, I think that's the main thing. Build the fitness up, get a couple of minutes under your belt, get that confidence back, get that feel back for playing football. It's been 6 weeks or so, or whatever it's been. It's been a long 6 weeks since Derby, hasn't it? Let's be honest. But yeah, I think the fitness levels look good. We're pressing the ball well. A couple of the goals have come from doing that. I think Cameron Roof, Jack Harrison look really lively. See, Patrick Bamford worked really hard there. He worked really hard to get back into position. The ball's there to be won, and he ducks out the challenge. That's poor. That's poor for me. I want to see more determination there. Patrick Bamford. I know it's a pre-season friendly, but I want to see him winning that ball. I want to see him, a bit more energy from Patrick Bamford for me. In the press. If he's going to really take Roof out of that position, he has to show more of that for me. He has to show more. There's other comments coming in. Michael S. I don't trust Berardi in the team at all. He can get an unnecessary red card at any time. That's a fair point. I think it's like 6-7 red cards in 3 years. It's not great. It's not great that. I do like Berra as a player, but he has got it in him to make a real big mistake in a game and cost us. We'll get a silly red card. It's not good. It's not good when you have that kind of situation. That's why I have my doubts about Berardi and Cooper starting as a centre-back partnership. I like both as individual players. I just think they need that top quality centre back playing alongside them. I'm not sure that's strong enough or consistent enough a partnership. Look, against Derby in the first leg of those playoffs, they were absolutely superb together, those two. But it never really worked. It didn't work in that second leg. It was fucking horrendous in that second leg, wasn't it? It was Groundhog Day. And that really sums it up as a partnership for me. It's not consistent enough. It's not really delivering enough clean sheets on a regular basis. And I think for me, it can't be something we start the season with. But that's my personal opinion. I'm not massively against it, but that's how I kind of feel on the situation. Niall Joy's thoughts on signing another centre-back, or are you happy with what we have already? For me, I would still be looking at another centre-back, even if it's just a backup. We've only really got 3 out-and-out centre-backs in Berra, Cooper and White. One of them's only just come into the club, with Ben White. So I look at that and think 3 centre-backs, is that enough? I don't think we will. Personally, I don't think we will bring in another centre-back. I think we will probably just see Ben White as a replacement for Pontus Jansson, because he probably does suit Marcelo Bielsa's style of play a little bit more. I'm not saying he's a better defender than Pontus Jansson, but he does potentially suit the style of play a little bit more than Pontus does. But yeah, that will be an interesting one to see. David Alford, Phillips to Villa, discuss. Now, it's a hard one to assess, really, guys. I think all the sort of signs is that Calvin Phillips wants to stay at Leeds United, and that if that is the case, Leeds won't sell. That is what I hope, because Calvin Phillips is one of the crown jewels of this team. He is the crown jewel of this team, isn't he? Let's be honest. He is our most valuable player. He probably is arguably our best player, our most important player, without doubt. But yeah, I'd like to think not. That's what I'd say. I would definitely like to think not, and I'm glad the transfer window shuts in 4 weeks' time, because otherwise it wouldn't be great, would it? It really wouldn't be great. If we were looking at it and thinking Calvin Phillips could be, it could be another 2 months of Calvin Phillips drama if the transfer deadline day was on the 31st of August like it normally is. Oh, unlucky now, Cameron Roof. He tried a little slide rule ball into Patrick Bamford, just a little bit overhit. But again, the work rate's there off the ball. Pablo pressing the ball really well there, and he's forced the ball out wide there. He's forced their left backs to hoof the ball out wide. It's lovely seeing things like that off the ball work, and it's only pre-season, but that's what you want to see in Bielsa's ball. I felt towards the end of the season, I think Conor mentioned this in pretty much every post-match review, sort of from April onwards, that the pressing wasn't there. The pressing wasn't there second half of the season. It really wasn't. And maybe that's partly fitness. I think maybe partly fatigue. Getting so used to, I don't know, maybe hunger to an extent, but it's something we've got to work on next season. Make sure the conditioning is right. Stuart Dallas has won the ball well there on the edge of the area. Won the ball back there really well. Good touch off Patrick Bamford. Couldn't quite find the late run off Jack Harrison, but Jack Harrison's looking so lively tonight. Even his movement off the ball's been excellent tonight for me. Good ball, Pablo Hernandez. And Adam Forshaw scored his first goal for Leeds United. Good ball of Pablo Hernandez. Great run of Adam Forshaw, to be fair, and a lovely chip over the goalkeeper. A fair play to Adam Forshaw. He's made a good late run there. Great ball of Pablo. That vision there. People have their doubts about Pablo because of the way he finished last season, but I think it's just he was just knackered because he played so many games. If we can manage Pablo's time better, game time better, I think we'll be absolutely fine with Pablo. He's still the elite creator in this league for me. He's still the best creator in the league for me, without a shadow of a doubt. I don't think you get anyone who can create on as consistent a basis as a Pablo Hernandez for me. But yeah, 5-0 to Leeds. I think we're playing absolutely brilliantly. We have been absolutely brilliant tonight so far. But again, we can't get too carried away here. We can't get too carried away. It's only a friendly at the end of the day. Barkers, are you scared Ben White could be another Matthew Pennington? I'm hoping he's class, but there was a lot of hype with Pennington from what I remember. Now the difference is with Pennington for me is that Matthew Pennington was playing League One football the season before he came to us, but he didn't impress at League One. He didn't impress in League Two either. He just didn't really do well at all. In his loan spells outside of Everton, and that was quite telling for me. But yeah, I think to an extent it's a similar situation because he's been asked to replace a really popular player like Matthew Pennington was brought in to replace Kyle Bartley, which is always going to be a tough, tall order, and he was nowhere near at that level, for being honest. But yeah, it's a fair point. It is a fair point, but I just didn't really see anything off Matthew Pennington before coming to Leeds. No one really massively rated him. I think he had a loan spell at Coventry, it didn't work out. But the difference is with Ben White, he's younger for starters. He's done well at Newport. He's done well at traffic where I was last season, Peterborough. He's building up. He's gone from League Two to League One, and the next actual step of progression will be the Championship as well. So yeah, I think. Look, it's a risk. It is a risk. Let's not make any shadow of a doubt. It is a risk because at the end of the day, you don't know what's going to happen all the time with these kind of signings. It could go horribly wrong. Let's hope not. Let's definitely not hope not. But I think he's got the attributes to be a Bielsa defender. Bielsa improves players as well. Matthew Pennington was playing alongside. He was playing under Thomas Christensen and Paul Heckingbottom. Good bit of work on the left off York. Stuart Dow's caught out of position a little bit there. Kiko dealt with it quite well, to be fair. Cut the cross out. But yeah, it's a little bit easy that on that left hand side for my liking. We've got a decent little counter attack going here. Kevin Roos made the run offside. But yeah, 5-0 Leeds, 55 minutes into the game. And I'm enjoying this, to be honest, guys. I'm enjoying seeing us playing with freedom and playing really well. But it's just a friendly at the end of the day. But it's good to see. It's good to see Leeds scoring goals and being clinical. To be honest, it is a massive boost. Since the second half of last season. Let's have a little look here. So my LUTV's just froze there. But yeah, the work rate off the ball has been absolutely exceptional, hasn't it? It has been absolutely exceptional tonight for me. I think the defence has come under absolutely no pressure at all tonight as well. Clear to see. Ollie Davis worries me that we score 5 and none have been Bamford. That's a very legitimate point, that Ollie. I think that puts a lot of pressure on Bamford. I want to see him get on that score sheet. The worry for me is he's not made any sort of types of runs you want to see a striker making. He's laying things off quite nicely. He's trying to get involved in that side of the game. But at the end of the day, he is the lone striker in the system. He has to be making more of those late runs into the box. That movement has to be a little bit better for me. Good bit of play there off the lads on the edge of the box. Pablo's got the ball. He's done well. He's won the corner there. But yeah, I have to agree with that. It's a bit concerning not seeing Pablo get himself on the goal scoring sheet so far. Niall Joyce, seeing rumours about Gary Cahill, a bit sceptical over whether he'd be fully committed to the Bielsa way since he's knocking on a bit. Hasn't played regularly for a while. Yeah, there is a worry, with signings like that the hunger's not necessarily there. It's a perfectly legitimate point to make there, Niall. But for me, I don't think Gary Cahill's that kind of player. I think he's fully committed. I think he's always been a committed player throughout his career. I look at maybe we don't like him. But when John Terry went to Villa, he made a big impact there on the pitch, not just sort of off the pitch as a coach. He did make a big impact the season before last on the pitch. Similar kind of signing from Chelsea. Maybe a player who's getting on a little bit, but did really well. As long as they've got the footballing brain, I think they do well. You know, I think it's not necessarily always about pace. Good, lovely bit of a passing exchange there on the edge of the box, but yeah, York just get it away. But yeah, I think that's something you look at. You look at the football intelligence of Gary Cahill. He's been there, he's done that at almost every level. World Cups, Champions Leagues, FA Cups, Premier Leagues. He's done everything. So from that point of view, you have to be happy with that. He's worked under similar kinds of managers to Marcelo Bielsa and Riccio Sarri in particular. Last season, we'll have had him been training Gary Cahill into a similar style of football. So yeah, it's an interesting one to look at for me. But Kemar Roof is getting so involved in this game from that number 10 role. As is Jack Harrison, to be fair. Pablo's getting more and more influential as the game goes on. And it's looking like we could get a couple tonight. We could get a few more tonight here. It would be nice for the confidence to do that. But at the end of the day, we've got to remember, we can't get too carried away here. We've still got to make signings, haven't we? We have got to still make signings. You know, we have got Man United coming up in the week. And then, you know, we can't get too carried away. We still need signings, guys. Make absolutely no mistake about that. You know, everyone's going to be at different levels of fitness. But good bit of play there between Forshaw and Pablo. But yeah, you know, it's fair play to some players tonight. They've really fought their way back into potentially, first team plans. You'd hope. Reece Durkin, can we get promoted if we sign a good replacement for Janssen? Yeah, absolutely. Look, Pontus wasn't the perfect player. He wasn't perfect. I thought he was an absolutely exceptionally talented centre-back, but he wasn't perfect. He did have his faults. He wasn't the best centre-back in the league. We can get an improvement in. We can get an upgrade, but it's all about the recruitment being right, getting that right upgrade. I think we've mentioned about Michael Hector being a potential one. A good bit of play on our own box here. Oh, good save off the keeper. Pablo had a decent little shot from distance there. Good save off the keeper. I don't think York have had a shot yet, to be fair. It's not a great ball back off Cooper. He's forced Casio off his line quite quickly there. That was a bit unnecessary. But yeah, no, it's you look at Pontus and you think, as long as we get the recruitment right, I think Michael Hector is probably the ideal replacement for me. Gary Cahill will be another very good replacement too. But if we bring in one of those kind of players, or someone like that, then I think we can do really well. I think we really can. I think we can take it to that next level, improve even more. Absolutely no shadow of doubt about that at all. Again, you just see that high pressing off the team. We've just seen the replay of that shot from distance off Pablo Hernandez. The build up to that chance, the high pressing, winning the ball high at the pitch, something we saw for most of the first half of last season. It was absolutely exceptional to watch. But looks like quite a few substitutions are happening here. Looks like that's quite a lot of players getting ready on the bench there. Patrick Bamford's one coming off. Kamaroof's coming off. In fact, there's quite a lot of players coming off here. Temenishkov's coming on. Looks like Pascal Straup's coming on as well. Brian Edmondson's definitely coming on. Yeah, it looks like quite a lot of under-23s players are coming on here. It looks like about 6 or 7 changes made in one go there. I'm going to need LUTV to come up with those substitutions because I didn't really suss out everyone who came on and off there. But definitely Edmondson for Bamford's one of them. But yeah, half an hour to go, guys. I've made a couple of substitutions there. So trying to get everyone some minutes, which is good to see. I think it looks like Robbie Gotts has come on at right back there as well. Chris Baldwin, York City lol. Wait until Man United play them in Australia. They will tear them apart. Look, that's the thing, mate. I'm not getting carried away at all there. You're absolutely not. You're absolutely no way of getting carried away. I think it can turn nasty at any point. If we lose a couple of games in pre-season, if we start the season badly, it can go wrong. So we can't possibly get carried away. Absolutely no doubt about that at all. Especially after the way last season fell apart, I don't think anyone's going to be getting carried away halfway through the season. Never mind the start of the season. We know we've got a massive challenge this season. Absolutely no doubt about it. Reece Durkin. I saw someone suggest we should sell Phillips and replace him with Ivan Sunic because Phillips is nothing without Bielsa. What do you think? I'm afraid, I'll be honest, I don't know who Ivan Sunic is. I'm assuming he's a holding midfielder. I can't say I've heard of him. Being totally honest, but I think that's a bit harsh. I think obviously Calvin Phillips did improve massively onto Marcelo Bielsa, but I think he's a lot more than that. I think he's always had that natural ability there. He's always had that to his game. He was good under the Gary Monk season, and I think it's always been about finding that manager who gets in his best position. You have to remember Calvin Phillips has played so many different positions in his career, and it's took Marcelo Bielsa to find that best position. But you have to give the credit to Calvin Phillips as well. Calvin Phillips has worked super hard. He's had to adapt to that position, and he's done it brilliantly. He's had to go to centre-back, he's done that brilliantly. It can't just be Marcelo Bielsa. You have to give Calvin Phillips some of the praise as well, to be fair. So I wouldn't agree with that, to be honest. Game's not quite at the same tempo to it since we made the substitutions, which is to be expected when you change 6 or 7 players, to be fair. But yeah, not quite at the same tempo to it since. But yeah, guys, keep your comments coming in, and I'll keep reading them out anyway. But Michael S, if you could only pick one more player to sign, who would it be? For me, absolutely no shadow of a doubt. Michael Hector for me. Michael Hector, centre back, absolutely no shadow of a doubt from that for me. He is the signing we need. Just so commanding, just so perfect in every way for this team. He would be a Van Dijk, Laporte kind of level, our kind of equivalent of that, of course. He would make a massive, massive impact on that back four for me, which I still have question marks about, particularly at the heart of the defence. The base of our defence. Have we got enough consistency there? Have we got enough quality there? Have we got enough options there? And I have to question that, and I would like to see a Michael Hector kind of sign happen for us. Barkers has just asked, just been sent a message that we're 4 to 11 on favourites. 11 to 4 on favourites for KL Oscar. I know odds aren't the be all and end all, but there's surely something in this now. Yeah, I think the odds aren't all the be all and end all. The odds, the way it works, we all know how it works. Someone has possibly put money on that, and it has driven the odds down. I wouldn't read too much into that, to be honest. But I think there is definitely interest there. I don't think the rumours would be as strong or as off as trusted sources if there wasn't interest there. But yeah, we have to wait and see how it goes. It would be a nice signing for us. I would probably, if there was a choice between him and Michael Hector, I would probably go for Michael Hector, purely because I think he fits into Bielsa's ball a little bit more than Gary Cahill would. I think Gary Cahill would have to adapt a little bit more to that kind of system. But look, Gary Cahill's a quality player, and as long as his heart's in it, I can't see it going wrong for us on that side of things. But yeah, we're about 20 minutes to go, guys. I'm running out of things to sort of comment on, guys. I'm sorry I'm a little bit of pauses in the game. But yeah, it's been a good game. It's been a good performance, this. Nice and lively. Everyone's looking nice and sharp, which is good to see. Are all the pre-seasons on LUTV? Ollie asks. I'm not sure, to be honest. I wouldn't have thought the Man United and other Australia game would be on LUTV. I think that'll probably be more like to be on like Sky or something like that, I guess. or BT, something like that. I'm guessing. I wouldn't have thought that'd be on Leeds TV or available for free. But yeah, I know this game, Guiseley, is on live. I'm not sure about Cagliari either, in Italy, what the situation is on that. But yeah, guys, sorry about the pauses, but there is a couple of pauses. It's like quite hard to comment on things at the minute because the game has sort of slowed down a little bit since we made the substitutions, which is to be expected. But it's nice to see the youngsters getting more minutes, which is good to see. How do you get LUTV? You don't need a membership to watch this tonight. You can just literally go onto LUTV and the games there available. Just in case you guys don't know. But yeah. But a quick update on all the substitutions that have happened. I can't quite suss out all of them, but all 10 outfield players are replaced. To be fair, I didn't realise it was all 10, to be honest. Struick, Adore, Hasana, Gotts, Majika, Edmondson, Timenishkov, McCarran, Jenkins and Casey. So yeah, it did look like it had dramatically changed. But it's a fair shout. It's about getting people minutes. Just seeing McCarran on this left-hand side. Hopefully get him on the ball. Get him a couple of, get him some touches early doors. I think this is his first game for Leeds. Obviously new signing, as is Majika. It's a good ball out wide, that. But yeah, not quite the same tempo as the game. But to be fair, it's about getting people minutes. We can get the youngsters 20 minutes here and there in this pre-season. They can build that little bit of confidence to take with them into the 23 campaign, or if they get called on, in the middle of the season, because we don't know what the situation is going to be. They might get called on in the middle of the season. But yeah, it looks like Timenishkov has taken that centre forward's position at the minute. He just seems to be swapping with Majika quite a lot. But yeah, York, I've got to be honest, have been pretty poor tonight. Not really done anything with the ball. And to be fair, been leaving big spaces at the back, so it's not been a massive test this tonight. With no disrespect to York at all, of course, a non-league team, it was never going to be. It was never going to be a massive kind of game for us. But it's good to see. We've been good tonight. No doubt about that at all. Good bit of just slightly overhit pass back there. Looked like Casey just slightly overhit that pass there. Niall Joyce, Kiko or BPF for you, Oscar? Kiko for me, to be honest, mate. I look at Kiko. I think, to be fair, he had the poor last 2 or 3 games, and yeah, look, he did cost us. He did cost us, didn't we? At the end of the day, but you have to remember, before that, I thought he did well. I can't really think it would be too critical of Kiko Garcia. He kept us in a couple of games, Birmingham away, Brentford away. He made big saves in those games to keep us in the game. So you have to remember that as well. I think some of the criticism of him is harsh. You have to remember what he did earlier on in the season. He was good earlier on in the season. So hopefully he can refine that form. I think people have turned on him a little bit too quickly for my liking. I think BPF, he obviously had a couple more chances in the first team, and it didn't really work out for him. I like BPF. I think he's going to be a good goalkeeper in the future, but maybe you look at it and you think, can he afford to have another season on the bench? Because I do think BPF will be second choice, certainly to start with this season, because he didn't really do enough as first choice, if we're being honest. I think Jamal Blackman would have replaced BPF in time had he not got injured. So you have to look at it from that point of view as well. But yeah, I think Kiko was scapegoated a little bit too much for me. Obviously he did make that mistake, but don't forget Lynn Cooper made 2 mistakes in that game as well. He gave away the penalty and he made the mistake which led to that Kiko situation. Obviously Kiko has to take the vast majority of the blame for that goal, but Cooper again was also at fault too for me on that goal, and then the penalty which he gave away far too cheaply. So yeah, you have to look at it from that point of view too. But yeah, I think another thing, guys, we've not sort of touched on too much is the people who've come out of the football club, who've left the football club. Hallam, Wilkes, both going to Barnsley. I'm interested in that. I felt both had looked impressive. Whether it was playing for Leeds or playing for other clubs, and that lot in Wilkes' case. I think maybe they could have got opportunities this season, but the club's made the decision and he sold them on. I don't think if Bielsa doesn't see the potential there, then that's fair enough. You can't don't think Wilkes or Hallam could have played another season in the under-23s. I do think they needed first-team football, and we've gone down that route of permanent transfers. Whether that's the right route to go down or not, I'm not so sure. A bit of an overhit pass there. Not quite that crisp pass in there that we want to see. So far, not quite that same momentum or tempo, but that is to be expected, to be fair. So we can't be too critical. Fishnips, do you think we're going up? Mate, I can't answer that. To be honest, I can't. Not that I don't want to answer that. That has to be the aim this season. Getting promotion has to be the aim this season. Otherwise, last season was a complete waste of time. It was a complete waste of time if we don't go up this season. Do I think we can? I still think we need more recruitment. At least two more players from me. Whether we get that or not, I don't know. But yeah, I do think that's what we need. To get promoted. I know it's not all about the squad. I do have great faith in Bielsa's style of football. I have great faith in Bielsa himself that he's the right man to get this football club promoted. But we need certain things to go away. At the end of the day, 24 teams are trying to get promoted this season. And the odds are technically against us. You have to say from that point of view, they are against us. But I'd like to think we can just take it that next level. I think Helder Costa's an exciting signing. Seeing Jack Harrison, the way he's performed tonight, it's been good as well. Pablo looking on it as well, and we can keep that going into the season, having that same kind of momentum. Then there's absolutely no reason why not. I think we have got that quality in our starting 11. Even tonight, we've not seen Mateus Click, Tyler Roberts, Calvin Phillips, Luke Ayling. Trying to think who else we haven't seen tonight. Helder Costa. We've not seen Helder Costa or Jack Clark. All players who have played crucial parts last season. We've not seen those players tonight. We've got strength and depth. We have got some depth in this squad. I think other than the holding midfield positions at centre back, we have got depth in this team, which is good to see. And it's about that. It's about the squad as well. It's not just a starting 11. We have got a quality starting 11. We've just got to look at the squad as well. Have we got those options, to back up players with? If we need to, so we're going to get injuries, we're going to get suspensions. No matter what team we are, that is going to happen. Especially when we're playing with the intensity we do under Marcelo Bielsa, we are going to pick up the odd injury. Absolutely no doubt about that. But yeah, I mean, it would be nice to see 2 or 3 more faces come in. Not necessarily just for the starting 11 either, just to bulk up the squad a little bit. We can't just be relying on under 23s players as well as they have done. We can't just be relying on them either. Asana has lost the ball quite cheaply there, playing out the back. Interesting one. Paul McCheese wedge. Oscar, would you take Carl Bartley back? It's an interesting question, this. It is an interesting question. It depends. There's 2 ways of sort of answering it, I guess. Okay, I'll start with why I wouldn't potentially bring back Carl Bartley. I think you look at the way Carl Bartley plays. Can he adapt to playing out the back? He did it occasionally under Gary Monk, but can he adapt to that style of football? There was question marks about that. I think technically, I still think he's a very, very good centre back at this level. I think he's very commanding. He's a good leader. He is a good leader. Let's make no question about that. He was excellent in that season for us. For me, he is the best centre back we've had since the Premier League relegation. I would probably rank him ahead of Pontus. Very controversial opinion, but I would say he was absolutely pivotal that season. We had probably our best defence since going down. So yeah, I think he would be one I'd look at. But I think another point of view is, I think a lot of people have said, he had that bad time at West Brom. I think you have to look at his last 2 games for West Brom against probably the best striker in the league last season in Tammy Abraham, and he was absolutely fantastic against Tammy Abraham. Second leg West Brom were down to 10 men, he was absolutely rock solid. He kept West Brom in the game. He led the back line really well. Penalty box defending was absolutely spot on. Last minute blocks, last minute headers, last minute interceptions, everything was there. He was leading the back line well. He looked like a classic Carl Bartley performance. So yeah, I think from that point of view, it was massively improved my opinion on bringing in Carl Bartley. Whether I think we're going to do that or not, I don't know. Whether I think he fits the system or not, I'm not so sure. But yeah, I'd say yes. I would say yes, but I would look at other targets as well, like Michael Hector, Gary Cahill, probably more suitable. But Carl Bartley is a fine footballer, isn't he? Let's be honest. I think the only thing that would make you question that is his ability to play the ball at the back. Has he got the ability to do that? And yeah, I do really like Carl Bartley as a defender. Maybe he's not had the best season all in all at West Brom, but he's still showing real moments of quality for me. So yeah, I probably would look at that if it's doable. But he would have to improve his distribution out the back. He would have to improve on that because he can be the best defender in the world. But in this system, that has to be part of your game. Simple as that. Decent little counter-attack opportunity here. McCarron's picked up the ball from deep. He's driving well here. He's got a couple of options. He's going to go for a goal himself. Good block. Ball's go back to McCarron. Straight the ball into the box. Back onto this right-hand side. Can get the ball straight in. Not a great ball in that. A little bit over hit. Yeah, wrong type of cross. I think you should try and be going across the floor there rather than going for the air ball cross. Shot from decent effort. Decent effort out of Edmondson from distance. But yeah, 10 minutes to go, guys. But keep the comments coming in, guys. So, any other comments here? So yeah, in answer to your Carl Bartley question, I'd say yes, but there's other targets to look at as well. There is other players who are options too. AXJ, what's your thought on Rangers trying to get Roof? I'd be amazed. I know obviously the opportunity to play for Steven Gerrard is there, but I'd be amazed if Cameron Roof would be happy to make that move. I would be amazed if that is the case. I think we have to accept Cameron Roof is a top player. He is a top player. I'd say in reality, I think that'd be a backward step for him. I know obviously he'd be playing European football, playing for Rangers, one that playing under Gerrard, etc., etc. But it's not a great step for his career development for me. I don't think that would be the best move for him. But you don't know what the situation is. Bielsa is more prestigious than Steven Gerrard, as Ollie says. But yeah, I'd like to think I can't see it. I just can't see it, to be honest. I think if Cameron Roof is going to leave, he's going to go to a Premier League club or make a move like that. I don't see him going to Scottish football, to be honest, guys. Edmondson almost cut out a back pass there. Good little bit of awareness off him. Oh, great. Good strength that off Bryce Asana. Almost a little York counter-attack, but Bryce Asana got across really well there. But yeah, I've got to say, Liam McCarron's probably looked the most lively of all the players who've come on here. On that left-hand side. Well, it's been a bit more of an even contest since we made those changes. Only Kiko Casilla has stayed on the pitch. But yeah, I think Claudio has been decent from the left-hand side as well. Paul McCheesewedge, here's one, Oscar. Would you take Zanka from Huddersfield Town? He's out of favour there. It's an interesting one. I think Schindler is the one that we'll look at from Huddersfield, and I think he's been a standout for him for the last 3 years, even when they've not been doing so well. Good player, very, very good player at this level. But Zanka, I've not seen loads of Zanka, to be honest. I think he was good in the first season for Huddersfield, not so much the second season. I think he's decent on the ball from what I can remember. But yeah, maybe it'd be a decent option. Whether Huddersfield was selling to us or not is another matter. I'm not 100% convinced they would, to be honest, sell to a Championship rival, potentially a promotion rival, depending on how much you rate Huddersfield. Going into this season, they have kept most of the players. Aaron Moy is still a Huddersfield player as things stand. Good player, very good player at this level. Alex Pritchard is still a Huddersfield player. I think they could surprise a lot of people. This could definitely surprise a lot of people going into this season. Ollie Davis, do you reckon BPF will start tomorrow? I'd have thought so, mate. I would have thought he will start tomorrow. If he isn't starting tomorrow, I think he's under a lot of pressure there. In terms of keeping his place in this first team squad. If he's not starting tomorrow, I think Miazek or Huffer. Actually, Huffer has gone out on loan. I think I'd have to check on that. Actually, I might have just imagined that. But Miazek's probably the only other option. But I'd imagine BPF will be starting tomorrow. So yeah, just approaching 5 minutes to go, guys. And guys, I'll do as well a quick review of the game, as will Joe and Conor be doing after the game too. Joe and Conor are both there tonight, so they'll be doing match reviews of the game as usual. But guys, if you want as well, just make sure you let us know if you want any other different types of content going into this season. At the end of the day, you guys have absolutely supported this channel amazingly well. It's been absolutely amazing, your support for this channel. Honestly, guys, the way this channel's growing since sort of this time last year. When we're going into pre-season, it's been absolutely brilliant the way you have supported us. As Paul McGee says, only Leeds would take 5k to York away. It's absolutely amazing, isn't it, to be honest? But yeah. AXJ, Costa starting tomorrow. I'd have thought so. I'd have thought Costa starting tomorrow. Kathy Loveridge. What is your thoughts on Harrison? I thought Harrison was absolutely exceptional tonight. Easily the best I've seen him play for us. He looks stronger, he looks fitter, he looks more ready for this season, less lightweight. I think he finished last season pretty well. He obviously didn't start so well, but for me, I think all the signs are good. I think he's grown into that left-back role. You have to remember he came to Leeds as the right winger. Bielsa has asked him to play a totally different role to what he was playing in the MLS. And he's adapted to it. He's still learning the role. He was absolutely brilliant tonight. 2 goals and an assist, and he's made things happen in this hour on the pitch. To be fair to him, he looks a lot livelier, a lot more willing to take on his fullback, and it's good to see. But guys, just before we're going to start the post-match review, 5 minutes to go, make sure you let us know who your man of the match was tonight. I think the main contenders are obviously Jack Harrison, Kamaru, Pablo Hernandez probably. If you've got any others, let us know. But who should be your man of the match tonight so far? Assuming you are watching the game, be interested to know what your thoughts are on that, guys. Renos has got us started straight away with Jack Harrison. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be my shot as well. Christopher, Oscar, could you imagine Huddersfield pipping us to the title on the last day? Yeah. I'm not really bothered by Huddersfield, to be honest, mate. I just the thought of being pipped to the title on the last day is just pretty horrendous. I've got nothing against Huddersfield, to be honest. I don't see it as a massive rivalry. Whether that's controversial or not, I don't know, but I genuinely don't see it as a massive rivalry. But yeah, if they pip us to the title on the last day, it will be gutting no matter who does it. Let's hope that's not going to happen, though, guys. Yeah, Ollie Davis has gone for Huddersfield. Ollie Davis has gone for Harrison. AXJ's gone for Harrison. Barkers has gone for Patrick Bamford. Barkers. Could be 6. Just wide. Decent little chance of that for Rafa Majika. Got around the keeper. He probably should get on target, but good run. Good bit of movement around the keeper. There's a decent little chance of that for Leeds. Probably the first chance we've had since we made the changes. Fishnips has gone for Kiko as man of the match. But yeah, guys, sorry the last half an hour. It's been quite difficult to find things to comment on. But yeah, it's been a good performance tonight. Got to say, everyone who started the game has played well. Yeah, I can't think of a poor performance, to be honest with you, in terms of players who started the game. Yeah, I think we've looked solid at the back, which is good to see. I don't think York have had a proper effort on goal. No real sustained periods of pressure. Controlled the game for large parts, which is good to see. Used the ball quite nicely, got forward well, being clinical. It's good. It's been a good performance. It's not just been a fitness builder for this. Built a lot of confidence from this moment tonight. You obviously can't get too carried away. Let's be honest with you, we can't get too carried away at all. Just over 2 minutes to go here. Claudio on the ball. Lovely bit of skill out. Lovely bit of skill out at the back. What league are York in? I think they're in the same league as Southport, so that will be the Vanarama North. So that'll be the second division of non-league football. They're actually below Guiseley, I think, in the football in the non-league pyramid now. So, yeah, it's been surprising how much York have fallen down the last couple of years. But yeah, about a minute to go now, guys. Make sure you keep the comments coming in because I'm just going to do a quick post-match review just to finish off with too. Renos weren't they in League 2 a few seasons ago? They were. I think they're in the League 2 playoffs a couple of seasons ago as well. It looked like they could have got to League 1. And yeah, it's been pretty much downhill from there since. Good ball, that. Into Hazana. Just want to keep that in. No, not a great. That's a pretty poor ball into the box. That. Yeah, on the corner there, I think. Just over half a minute to go now. Yeah, guys, keep your comments coming in. I'm just going to do a quick review of the game afterwards, and I'm going to leave it there for tonight. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Got to say, for absolutely brilliant support tonight. We had just under 100 watches tonight for a pre-season friendly. It's pretty excellent, to be honest, guys. Excellent support again. Hope you've had a good chat, and I hope you enjoyed it as well, guys. More than anything, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Make sure you give it a like if you have enjoyed it. And there will be plenty of content coming out in the next couple of weeks of content on its way. But full time, guys, York City 0, Leeds 5, and it's a good day's work off Leeds. I think the main thing tonight was that I think the main thing was tonight. Let me just mute this now. The main thing was tonight was building fitness. That was the main aim of the game. At the end of the day, I think as a pre-season play, at the end of the day, I think as the pre-season progresses, it's going to get more tactical. It's going to get more a case of patterns of play. It's going to be more of a case of building the starting 11 for the first game of the season. But tonight it was purely fitness. I think the team was mixed. I thought it was a good balance to it. We started with Kiko, Stuart Dallas, Gaston Berardi, Liam Cooper, Barry Douglas at left back, Calvin Phillips holding midfield role, Pablo, Adam Forshaw, Cameron Roof slightly ahead of Adam Forshaw, and Jack Harrison on the left, Patrick Bamford through the middle. So defensively, I thought we're absolutely fine, looked solid, and he'd like to see us being solid in the game like this. Didn't really make any mistakes, which is good. And yeah, I don't think really York have had the chance for any sort of real periods of massive pressure on us. At the other end, we've been clinical, created plenty of chances, certainly the first half. Patrick Bamford's had a good chance when we scored a couple too. We scored a couple, we scored 4. And yeah, I think just been an excellent performance. I think from out wide, Pablo, Jack Harrison have been lively throughout. They've made things happen. In the middle, Cameron Roof, Adam Forshaw really dictated the tempo of the game really well. Alfie McCalmont, I thought was really impressive in that holding midfield role. Showed a lot of good composure on the ball, winning the ball high up the pitch, and good positioning too. Great discipline. Berardi, Cooper, solid at the back too, and the fullbacks solid defensively and very productive going forward. So I think all in all, I think Patrick Bamford is probably the only player I was a little bit disappointed with tonight, but he did link up play well. At times, he made the goal for Pablo Hernandez. He wasn't bad by any stretch of the imagination. Just wanted to see a little bit more from him. Wanted to see him get him on the score sheet tonight, and just that little bit more from him off the ball. Pressing high up the pitch in that lot. But yeah, I think all in all, good night's work. I can't think of anyone who's had a bad game. And yeah, when the substitutions were made, I think Liam Buchanan and Claudio were probably the best two on that left-hand side, linked up quite well. But yeah, I think all in all, it's been a good night's work. I'd go for me personally, go man of the match, go for Jack Harrison, but I think massive shout out to Pablo Hernandez and Kemaru, who I thought both excellent. I thought that whole front four, the three just fine. Patrick Bamford worked really well. Pablo on the right, Jack Harrison on the left. On the right, Jack Harrison on the left, and Kemaru through the middle in the 10 role. I thought all in all, it's been a great night's work for us. And it's been a good game to watch. It's been good to see Leeds being clinical and scoring plenty of goals. But guys, I hope you've enjoyed that tonight. Make sure you leave a comment down below and like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. I've been Oscar Marriott. Thanks so much for watching. All Leeds TV. See you later, guys.